from the Big Apple that never sleeps, here they are, your Edge of Wonder Zen friends Ben and Rob, live from New York.
And we're live.
Your Zen friends Ben and Rob, live from New York, even though we're not.
Yeah,
still.
even though we're not. So, how is everyone doing? And I just realized my monitor is like way over here, but that's okay. So, how are you doing, Rob?
I'm hanging in there. How are you, Ben?
Good. Yeah, doing pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, good to see.
I'm digging the new hat, man. It's a good look for you.
You know, it's weird. I got really, I don't know. I was just getting bored because I have a really hard time finding hats that fit me. I have a weird shaped head. And never in a million years would I ever thought like this kind of style would fit for me. And then, you know, this is the first hat I got like this. Actually, not the first one, but I don't know. I think it was like I just kind of had to get comfortable, and then I put it on. A lot of people around me were just like, "Whoa, that's a really good style. You should, you know."
Dude,
and I was like, "Okay."
This is the Edge of Wonder hat right here. This should have been like this since the beginning.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to do it too, and then so I kind of go back and forth. I guess if we're doing something a little bit more formal, I'll put the other hat on. If it's our live and we're having fun, I'll wear the style for sure. So it works both ways.
So hey, I heard a rumor that something happened with a Twisted Sister song.
Yeah, so I don't know. we should talk about this first. So I don't know if you guys heard this, but okay, so the singer for Twisted Sister is really upset because protesters are using his song in protest. But
they're using his song in protest to protest what?
Masks. Not wearing masks. So he's upset about it.
That song, We're Not Gonna Take It. That song, that's being used to protest masks, right?
Yeah, Derek, you want to... Okay, so what he said in this tweet was that... This is a tweet from this guy named Sean. He said, "This week, some anti-maskers made a video at a Florida Target store blaring Twisted Sister's hit, 'We're Not Going to Take It,' while ripping off their masks. This caused singer Dee Snider to get angry at this moronic group, saying they don't have permission to use a song."
You know, I wonder what's his name? The lead
singer? Dee Snider.
Oh, Dee Snider, can you imagine what the inside of his mask looks like with all that makeup he puts on?
I can't even imagine. And then on top of that, I mean, what I think is hilarious with this post is that if rioters were using this song, blaring it while burning the cities down, I'm sure he would have not said a word. But people want to wear it inside a Target store simply to take a mask off, and he's freaking out. So
right.
Wi-Fi issues, Derek said. Okay.
Just keep going.
All right. So, are you able to play that video? Just get to it. The Target one. The one I'm just talking about right now. No? All right, we're having some major Wi-Fi issues here. I don't know.
Why is Wi-Fi even?
I thought we're using. Yeah, I thought we were plugged directly in. I don't know. It is what it is. So
wouldn't be an Edge of Wonder show without a little bit of technical difficulties.
Seriously. So
hey, so
we'll try to play
next
that.
On the agenda.
Yeah, actually,
did you
hold on one second? I can put this in the link actually, or in the chat. At least people can watch it there. So anyway, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying. It looks like I was just going to go on to the next piece of news. Do you want me to continue?
Continue.
Okay, so LA County Public Health Director repeatedly says in a conference call she doesn't expect K-12 schools to reopen until we are done with the election in November.
So November 5th,
that's really weird.
I guess they'll open the schools. I can't remember 4th. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's super weird. Doesn't make any sense.
So Derek, are you able to pull anything up right now?
I'm frozen right now. Just see.
You're frozen. What does that mean exactly? I guess not.
Okay, so I mean, but we're still live, right?
You were still live.
Yep.
So that didn't stop.
Just keep going.
Yeah. All right. Well, won't be able to show those Twitter links or anything right off of that. But hey, did you add the Cal Fire, the rescues here?
Yes. So okay. Sorry, I have to pull this up because Derek can't pull it up at the moment. So there are this guy named John Noonan. He made a post and he said 300 plus campers ensnared by fire, California fire, tells them no hope of extraction. Prepare to jump in the lake to survive. This is nuts. So the Army pilots say they can help. The California Fire Department, he's saying, says too dangerous. Crews go away. Zero visible in smoke-filled canyons. So basically what he's saying is, I wish we could show this so much easier than trying to describe it.
Almost there.
Okay, Derek says he's almost there. Basically what's going on is that he's showing these images of all these fire and helicopter, people in a helicopter. They were, I guess, I thought they were rescued. And okay, so basically these guys, the Army is going in, doing what they can to rescue them. But that is just insane that basically they're saying, the California Fire Department's saying like, nope, sorry, you're on your own, jump in a lake to survive. Like, that's just nuts.
Well, so we're going to be showing a video a little bit later, Ben, once we get in a little bit more to the fires. And what I noticed one of the sheriffs saying was that when things get too serious, the police and the fire crew, to protect their lives, are required to move out of the area, it sounds like.
It is true. It is true, actually. Like if
It's sort of like when, when there's like a big hurricane somewhere and everyone gets evacuated, like no one's around, and that's why helicopters have to go in to like try to help people, but they try to get everyone out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But it's just, I mean, I guess what makes this different is that with like the hurricane, you have plenty of time to warn people, hey, this is happening, get somewhere safe. If you miss this date, you're on your own. This is like, fires coming in all of a sudden, and then they're like, oh yeah, you're on your own now. So, I mean, it is a little bit weird, but luckily, it does look, okay, so there's 337 campers that were rescued, actually, so by the Army. And so that's really positive to hear.
It is very positive. That's crazy.
Yep.
Man, so we have basically everyone's loaded in now. So I think it's time to go into awkward moments that happened this week on television. Did you see that clip where someone brought up Soros?
Oh,
and then
we should just play it. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, we're gonna play
Let's
that.
Just play it.
So there's two videos to play here, Derek. There's the Ox Fox clip, and then there's the Bill O'Reilly reply.
Yeah, the awkward Fox one. That is hilarious. Sorry, I have like.
I'm all messed up.
Derek's still kind of getting things together.
All right, we can go on to something else if you're not ready, Derek. Just let me know.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to that.
Okay, so come much back to that. So, all right, so Ben, why don't you cover the Trump Associates and Assange article? That's after a few down.
Figure out where we are. Okay, yeah. So basically, what happened? Sorry, you guys. I have a seed stuck in my throat.
All those hippie drinks you're drinking,
seriously.
Ben.
So,
Just kidding.
so Trump is. Oh man. So Trump Associates offered Assange pardon in return for emails source. This is a really, really big news because it would oh man, sorry guys. There we go. It would explain why the other side has been trying so hard to get Assange and make up all these different things, what's going on. And of course, we kind of all knew what, Assange is the one who he's he knows everything that happened related to the WikiLeaks emails and to the Hillary Clinton emails and everything else. Like he's such a key part of this whole entire puzzle because he knows for a fact if it either came from Russia or if it came inside the DNC itself, i.e. like Seth Rich. So this is like really, really big now that they're finally offering a deal for him to confess, which I'm sure he probably already did a long time ago and told him everything. It was just whether they believed him or not. So anyway, this looks like it's going to go forward, and it doesn't really say when or, you know, kind of what, like when this is all supposed to take place, but this is, in other words, this is really good that this is actually happening. We've been kind of waiting for this, and it's just great to hear.
Hey, I'm ready for you with those.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you know, my opinion on this is if things are going to move forward in a positive direction and the bad elements are going to get removed from
There was something-
our country, then I totally see Assange getting pardoned.
Yeah, I do too.
eventually, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since, you know, you can kind of, the WikiLeaks site kind of goes both ways with like things being released on it. But, you know, obviously there's a lot more of the other side being exposed on there, which is why, like, you know, Obama was really going after him hard. So.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, that is really great news to hear. So, okay, Derek said he's finally ready with this stuff.
That's great,
Yeah.
Derek. Excellent news. Okay, show that video for us.
Is there sound? There you go. No.
No? Oh, one sec. Keep going, sorry. I don't know why the audio's not working.
Okay.
Thought we had it.
Okay, so let's move on to a different one before we come back to that. So,
Sorry, guys.
Ben, did you put this in about Ted Cruz
Yeah.
sending a letter to DOJ? Why don't you cover that one
Yeah.
too? I'll hit the other stuff when he gets it
Okay,
up
yeah,
and running.
sure. So, Ted Cruz is not the only, by all means, not the only person. Sorry, I have to kind of realize it's in the frame. Ted Cruz is not the only person who is actively doing something about this. I think now there's about 30 Republicans that are signing this. But Ted Cruz sent a letter to the DOJ to investigate Netflix. So following Netflix disturbing promotion of cuties, this is Ted Cruz writing this. I sent a letter calling on the Justice Department to investigate whether Netflix, its executives, or the filmmakers violated any federal laws against the production and distribution of child pornography.
Wow.
These scenes in and of themselves are harmful, and it is likely that the filming of this movie created even more explicit and abusive scenes, that the pedophiles across the world in the future will manipulate and imitate this film in abusive ways. So it's pretty. I mean, that's just part of. I'm not going to read this whole letter, but that was like really the nuts and bolts of what he was writing, and it's just pretty amazing to see. You know, of course, the other side of it, if people are like, okay, I'm watching this. I still haven't seen it yet, but I mean, just from what I'm seeing, I saw like a little 4 minutes of it. I just like went to the middle of it, and it's just the kids dancing, but just in this really sexual way. And it's like, okay, on the surface, people are like, yeah, okay, they're just dancing, but it's like, you got to remember, these are 11-year-olds, and you got to remember who's watching this. Like, this is for an 18 and older audience. I mean, would you feel comfortable if this was your daughter and knowing that some guy in their 50s, 40s, 60s are like watching
or
this?
is potentially getting off on 11-year-olds acting like they're in their early 20s or something.
Yeah,
it's deranged.
It's completely, and I think we all know like the goal of this, whether or not like whether or not, I'm not blaming the filmmaker necessarily, but the people on the higher scale of things, they're using this for an agenda that I believe to truly try to normalize this stuff. And I think, honestly, that's kind of what I think through this. And kind of continuing on with this conversation, there's something else that I saw somewhat related to this, and there was a Danish TV show. I couldn't even believe this. At first I thought it was like an Onion or something. Danish TV show exposes kids to naked adults. And basically what they were trying to do is they got literally kids, like 11, 13, 14-year-olds in this room and got different kinds of adults, different body sizes, all naked in front of them to present what normal bodies look like. And so...
that is bizarre.
So this was something from the article, or I think this was a tweet. To combat body shaking and promote body positivity, shaming. Sorry. Oh, this was, someone wrote shaking. Okay, shaming and promote body positivity. An award-winning Danish TV show presents 5 naked adults with less than perfect bodies to an audience of 11, 12, and 13s. So this is crazy. So Russia Today actually had a really good article about this. And one of the things they wrote is that, this is what in the article, they said, conservatives have long accused the liberal media of sexualizing children, and the New York Times' glowing portrayal of a Danish TV show featuring fully nude adults in front of children has left many commentators livid. Ultra Strips Down, that's what the show is called, is a children's show in Denmark in which an audience of 11 to 13-year-olds watch adults disrobe so they can ask them questions about their imperfect naked bodies. The show producers say the intention is to fight body shaming and encourage body positivity. But it
does the opposite.
But it does the opposite, yes. Somebody, this RT article had a really interesting tweet that they reposted someone's tweet. It's from this girl. She said, "God is going to smite us and we deserve it." So, anyway, I mean, this is their goal. We all know it. This is what they're trying to do, to get kids desensitized to these things so they just get used to seeing it, That's just kind of what it comes down to.
Well, and also, like, I think all of the standards are, like, they're, I don't like to kind of talk like this because I think it's hard for people to accept because there's not really language that can, like, really encompass what's going on. But, like, people nowadays, like, their values are so distorted that how are they going to judge what is a normal body or not, or even any of those things in the first place? And so they make all of these efforts to, like, undo what they think is bad, but their mind is already in the gutter, like, how do you then combat something when, you can't? Like, it's just a bizarre situation,
I kind of, in some aspects, I guess from one perspective, in a weird way, I can understand what they're trying to do, but it's like, why do you need full naked people to do this?
No, but that's what
you can use paintings from Michelangelo to explain things.
Or just like common sense and like rationality. You don't have to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're using this wonky standard to combat something, and you're not even doing it in an appropriate way.
No,
you know,
no, that's what I have the most difficult time with. That's exactly it. So it's so messed up.
Hey,
Hey, I got a question for you. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say? You probably.
Derek's talking to me.
The previous video for Soros muted. Like the computer, Twitter muted the video.
Really?
We'll explain it. I have the video prepared though. I have another one.
Okay, let's go into that because this is gonna blow people's minds. Can you pull that up, Derek?
Yep, I got it.
What do you mean it's muted?
Okay, it's still. There you go.
Is it playing?
No, Derek, it's still muted.
Okay.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this. I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this.
Wait, what are you doing, Derek?
That's it. That's the clip.
Oh, it's a different clip.
Okay, guys, there is a okay. Let me explain this. So there is actually there is a longer clip where this is Newt Gingrich, I believe, and he's just explaining to this Fox News reporter, and then another one how Soros is funding these these protests. And this woman who's on screen right now basically says, it's totally inappropriate to
Actually,
bring Soros
I found the full clip.
You did.
Yeah.
On
Can you
Twitter,
send that to Derek to play for everyone?
Yeah.
It's all muted.
So, guys, we're going to try to play this for you because it's really important for you to see this and then Bill O'Reilly's reply. And it is hard right now because
it's the same one.
Anything with his name is...
It is the same one.
It's getting muted, right?
It's getting muted. That's crazy. That's insane.
I have bills though.
Okay.
I'm not messing with
Do you have it up, Derek? Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
This is Bill O'Reilly. So
with
listen
Newt
to
Gingrich,
this, right?
that got a lot of press. I'm not going to comment on the Fox News personnel there. I'm going to tell you the truth right now because Speaker Gingrich knows the truth. So George Soros has donated $17 million to county races to get far-left progressives into the district attorney's office. That is a fact. All right, 17 million. Now, these are county races. So that's an enormous amount of money. So Gingrich is absolutely correct. Absolutely right. Now, none of the people on the panel seem to understand what Gingrich is talking about. I think that's a fair assessment. But the rule is if you invoke the name George Soros, then you're anti-Semitic because Soros is Jewish. He's a secular Jew. He's not a practicing Jew. Not that it matters. So if you say the name George Soros, you are anti-Semitic. That's what the ladies were responding. Oh, we don't need to mention George Soros. We don't want to be accused of being anti-Semitic. So why are they buying into that? This is a factual story. George Soros is using his billions of dollars to undermine the justice system in the United States, in my opinion, and in Newt Gingrich's opinion. And we have our stats to back it up. And you can't discuss that? Something really, really wrong.
Wow. I didn't see that yet.
Oh, Rob, you're muted.
Oh, wait, Rob, you're muted.
Sorry. So I don't know why this doesn't shut off. Anyway, so what you missed in the clip that Derek couldn't really show that Twitter is screwing with was the woman who was on screen with him basically was saying, hey, it's inappropriate to bring up George Soros. And Newt was kind of like, no, it's not, kind of like that. And then another woman comes on screen and she's like, oh, no, it's totally inappropriate to bring up George Soros. And then he's like, yeah, it's really not. Like, that's what's going on. And then there was this like really awkward silence. They like interrupted him and there was this awkward silence. And, you know, like this is Fox News. Like if they're not going to talk about it on Fox News, where are they going to talk about it? Because,
seriously,
you know, like that's the only place you can actually on mainstream media, but we all know Fox News is owned by Disney now, so a lot of things are changing there. But man, that was very crazy what happened.
Oh, okay. Derek said he found it.
It's uncensored on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube. Oh, why didn't we think of that?
Go ahead and try to play it if you can, Derek.
A major cause of the violence we're seeing is they keep putting the violent criminals back on the street.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this.
Oh, wait, go back to the beginning.
A major pro-criminal and overwhelmingly elected with George Soros about what they call progressive district attorneys. Progressive district attorneys are anti-police, pro-criminal, and overwhelmingly elected with George Soros' money, and they're a major cause of the violence we're seeing because they keep putting the violent criminals back on the street.
I'm not sure we need to bring George Soros into this.
I was going to say you get the last word, Speaker.
He paid for it. I mean, why can't we discuss the fact that millions of dollars he spent?
I agree with Melissa. George Soros doesn't need to be a part of this conversation.
Okay. So it's verboten.
All right, we're going to. Okay, we're going to move on.
It's like this awkward silence.
Literally the most awkward clip I've ever watched on live television, right? Like, and that woman just comes on and she's like, "I agree, it's totally inappropriate."
Yeah, who
you
is,
know, like, what are you talking about?
I don't even know who that woman was, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
I don't think anyone knew who she was. Like, that was just weird. So weird.
It was pretty funny though. It was pretty funny. So.
How did you not? The same clip is muted on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
So they're totally going. They're totally, you know. Okay, now there's a Breitbart article that I think we should show next.
Yeah, go
Derek,
ahead.
it's right after that. You can pull that up. So kind of one of the biggest things that we kind of got confirmation on this week, right, is that there is a lot of talk about how if Trump wins the election, that the, you know, other side is not going to concede. That they'll contest this legally in battleground states, and they're going to kind of try to project doubt about the election results, which is basically the entire strategy revolved around the voter, the mail-in voting. Mm-hmm. And then that they will also attempt to organize massive riots, right? Which is what everyone's scared about right now. So the article basically says that under the guise of seeking to prevent a constitutional crisis, a massive network of well-funded left-wing activists and progressive groups are training, organizing, and planning to mobilize millions of Americans should President Trump contest the election results and refuse to concede or claim an early victory. So they're actually saying the exact opposite thing to try to get everyone like really riled up about this, that Trump's going to do this because they think they have a lot. But actually, they're the ones that are planning all of this. And we know they're planning it because that's what groups like Antifa are all there for, right? Is that they can control them, and they control them through money and stuff like that. Right,
exactly.
So, you know, we need to kind of be aware of that and try to wake as many people up as we can about that actually being the situation. And we have even in, you know, there's a lot of danger right now. And some of that danger lies in a lot of these, you know, like it's kind of been made known that, you know, there are military folks, or, you know, our military, but it could be in the Army, it could be in the Air Force, these different areas who don't necessarily support President Trump. And some of them are talking more and more, and the more that they talk, the more they sound like they're trying to organize a coup. Like, you know, General Mattis's words recently are very startling. And there, you know, is a lot of concern that some of these groups are actually in touch with some of these organizations. So not groups, but even men. You know, like some of these generals or whoever they are, or even, you know, branches of the military So this is a very serious issue. I'm not trying to scare anyone. We're not trying to scare anyone. We're just pointing out the intelligence that's, basically readily available out there for us, right? And we have to do our best to research these things on our own. But there are a lot of articles coming out about different folks in these military branches that you have to kind of be aware of,
Yep. That's definitely for sure. You sure do.
So,
yeah.
Speaking of funny videos, Derek, can you play the Senator John Kennedy on Pelosi video for us?
One sec.
Okay, Derek's pulling that up, you guys.
Is there anything to talk about?
Yeah, but we play videos, remember? So we're just needing you to play that.
We can.
Give him like 0 time.
Okay.
You know?
We can go to the.
I'm there.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this one. This is hilarious.
There are times, particularly recently, when I think Speaker Pelosi is one of those people who tried Tide Pods. Sean, with respect, there are times, particularly recently,
Okay, Derek.
when I think Speaker Pelosi is one of those people who tried Tide Pods.
I can't hear it.
Sean, Speaker Pelosi
Okay,
is one of those people who tried Tide Pods.
That's so funny. I could not believe he said that, though. And the first time I was listening to it, I thought, he's just so serious, and there's this echo, and he's in this room, and I thought he was just going to say something totally different, and then he just says Tide Pods. It's like,
yeah, I had no idea he was going to say that. The first time I saw it, I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, me too. I could not stop laughing. It was pretty funny.
So Derek, okay, we'll try to look out for videos the next time we have them. I think that basically exhausts most of the videos that we had, though. There is one more that we're going to probably be showing a little bit later, but that's a little bit down the line.
Okay.
Sorry about the technical difficulties there. So, Derek, can you pull up the Jim Cramer article right below that, the Daily Caller article?
And
so Jim Cramer calls Pelosi Crazy Nancy right to her face during a televised interview.
This is so funny.
Yeah, so,
I couldn't believe this either.
Yeah, so CNBC host Jim Cramer called Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi Crazy Nancy during a Tuesday interview with her. Cramer immediately corrects himself, saying he was sorry and that he was quoting Trump. He also went on to say that he would never use such a term, to which Pelosi responded by telling Cramer that he just used the president's term while smiling. So I think this guy really was trying to joke around, but he made various attempts to apologize, including later on in his show apologizing for it, which didn't seem necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just kind of this awkward moment where, and all that stuff that was going on with Joe Rogan earlier. I mean, we'll cover that in a little bit, but
Joe Rogan stuff.
It's just everybody's going so crazy right now, 2 months out from the election, trying to protect themselves and all kinds of things,
Seriously. It's like everybody is going crazy right now, and that's kind of what we are anticipating too with everything going on. But
right.
Yeah, pretty intense stuff.
Yeah, so Ben, did you see this? I didn't actually put this one in here. The Daily Caller of Biden using a teleprompter.
Yes. So sorry. Where am I?
It's right after that.
I lost my place.
Oh, sorry. It's down a little bit below the.
I got it. Yeah. So okay. So basically, this is really funny. So the Daily Caller called out Biden for using. It seems he's confirming he's using a teleprompter, but okay, it's fine. People use teleprompters, no big deal. But this is for a TV interview. So this is supposed to be live. So if there's a teleprompter during a live TV interview, then something seems to be kind of going on. So
yeah, like, or is somebody typing out what he's supposed to say while the interview is going on? Like, it's a little bit odd,
or
right?
are they typing out the questions for him? You know, like letting him know the questions ahead of time and then typing out the answers to those questions. But anyway, this is
right, exactly.
This is part of the article. It says Biden did an interview in April with James Corden, and viewers could see the reflection of a teleprompter screen. The proof just went viral on Saturday because Biden's campaign spokesperson, TJ Ducklow, refused to answer questions from Fox News host about whether Biden was using teleprompters to speak with voters or conduct interviews. Rather than answering the question, Ducklow kept repeating that the question was straight out of the Trump campaign talking points, talking about gaslighting. I mean, that's like what he was talking about. So anyway, so again,
wow.
it's like they try to avoid it by not answering it directly, and then people could see it. So it just makes it sound like, you know, again, some people out there could be like, okay, big deal, he's using a teleprompter, but it's like it confirms that these answers, everything he's saying is not coming from him himself. They're from other people writing out everything and doing all of this. So this is why it's kind of a more serious issue than it is. So in other words, if him and Trump were debating, you know, I actually, to kind of go back on this, during Hillary and Trump's debate, there was a lot of people that suspected that Hillary had an earpiece in her ear. That
I remember that.
We even talked about it on one of our live shows. So again, it's like, okay, was someone feeding her things to say, you know? Was that just, I don't know, she's going deaf? I have no idea. But that's just one of those things. So
You know what's really funny? My one of my uncles messaged me a meme earlier today, and it was just a picture of Joe Biden going like this, right?
Yeah.
And the meme has a quote on it, and it says, "Quote: COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. It's just. I mean, think about it. More lives this year than any other year." And then it says Joe Biden. That was his quote.
Oh man!
It's actually a really funny meme.
That is pretty funny. That is really funny. All right. So what's next?
Trump signs executive order on drug pricing. It looks like.
Yes. So yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. So you guys. So yeah. I mean, this is just really brief news. Trump basically just signed an executive order to lower drug prices, which is really good. So this has been the whole thing about, you know, I know everyone's been up in arms about the healthcare system and Obamacare and all these different things, but I think what people don't realize is that, you know, honestly, when you truly break down Obamacare, the people that are truly benefits the most really are the insurance companies. And you can argue with that by saying, well, you know,
right.
I'm a low-income family. This is really important for us to have. Drugs are so expensive. It's like, well, yeah, why are drugs so expensive? That's the crux of the issue. The issue is that, you know, the drug aspect, I mean, people don't realize that hospitals are actually independent businesses. Most hospitals are not owned by the government. They're independent businesses, so they can charge whatever they want to charge. That's why other countries, things are a little bit different because the healthcare system is usually under the entire government. Here, it's not the case. Everything is privately owned. So imagine, you know, a drug cost whatever, even a couple $1,000s, now all of a sudden it's down to just a couple dollars, because really that's all it takes for the drug companies to make it, especially since China's producing most of the drugs anyway. Then all of a sudden, healthcare gets really affordable very quickly. So
right.
I there's other issues to the side from the fact of, the healthcare aspect. Why is the healthcare messed up? Who even organized the healthcare? Like, when did all of this really start coming out? And so there's just a lot of questions that people don't think about. Do you want to talk about anything else from this?
No, I mean, I think this just goes to show you, like, whereas, like, I mean, previous administrations did stuff like, let's create Obamacare or whatever it is. It's like Trump is actually, he's hitting on the main issue, which is like, why are these pharmaceutical companies why is this so expensive to be healthy? Right?
Right.
And like it's actually shocking these corporations, because President Trump is actually doing what he promised to do.
Exactly.
Like trying to make these things better for Americans and have better lives and the freedoms that we're supposed to have here. And it really is shocking. So, you're not likely to hear a lot about this in the media, but it's gigantic. Like, all of these things are stacking up. Like, Trump's doing, everything presidents should be doing. I mean, when you look at the data, like when you look at the issues,
Right.
So there's a lot of people out there still probably like, well, I don't like how he, presents himself on Twitter. Well, okay, but he really is he's putting his money where his mouth is, and he's trying to affect the issues that affect people, and that's a really big deal, I think.
It is, and the drug aspect really is a huge, major factor for how people vote in America. And if Trump really starts tackling this, even if people are not for Trump, if this is going to help them, and of course the media is going to spin this in any way possible to make them look bad, but all of a sudden, if they go to the doctor and they're like, oh, by the way, this thing that you're paying, for all this money, all of a sudden it costs a lot less for you. So this is actually a good thing. People will be happy about it. So I'm very supportive of this, because, I mean, really, when you really break it down, like, big pharma controls a lot of what's going on. And then you start diving into that, which we have in multiple episodes, and how it's all connected and all these different things. And then you start getting into everything. But, and how many businesses, how many companies are all tied into this industry is massive. So
let's take a quick break.
Yes, Derek said we should take a quick break. Let's take a quick break.
Sounds great, Derek.
Haiti. Planned Parenthood.
Derek, were you able to?
All roads seem to lead back to the same dark agendas, and we are bringing them all to the light. Don't miss this crucial conclusion to one of the most important Edge of Wonders series to date, Traffic, Part 3, The Fall of Babylon. Coming September 17th only on edgeofwonder.tv.
Yo, mute.
Okay. What?
We're back.
All right. You said mute, Rob?
I'm not sure we were muted while that trailer was playing.
Did I mute you?
Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
I saw some folks in the chat saying mute, and I thought maybe we were hot mic. We were live.
Oh. No. I think Derek got us. So Rob called this. Someone said you called him a mute.
No, I didn't.
Oh, anyway, that's pretty funny.
Oh no, they said we heard it all.
Oh,
they
man.
heard what you guys were saying.
Derek forgot to mute us. Oh.
Hey, Derek, did you want to show that trailer
Today
again?
is a rough day. You want to show? Why don't you show it again, and we won't be talking this time.
Sorry.
It's all right.
On today's Edge of Wonder, we've invited a very special guest for an exclusive interview. You might have seen her work talking about China and exposing the Chinese Communist Party. She's been arrested and sent to labor camps multiple times, but she still fights for what she believes in. And now she's a human rights activist, speaking for truth and freedom.
It's fine. We're back. Okay, Derek played the wrong trailer, but it's okay.
That's all right. You guys,
that's all right though.
This is what you all know and love about us, right?
We're not perfect. So, but that was with Jennifer Zhang. You guys, please, if you haven't seen
check those
that
out.
interview, the first half is on YouTube. It's probably one of the most emotional interviews Rob and I have ever listened to, and with a guest.
And also, YouTube's really suppressing that video.
Yes,
so go to
they
YouTube
are.
and check out the first one on our channel. You have to actually click on our channel, and the video will appear. And it says, surviving a Chinese labor camp. Watch that video. Listen to her story. It's life-changing.
It is.
Like, no joke.
Oh my gosh, it really is.
And her second interview is on edgeofwonder.tv, and it's all about how the Chinese Communist Party is actually interfering with
the election.
The United States.
Yeah, and the United States
is
as a
very
whole.
important to understand that.
Yeah.
It's very important to understand that.
But yeah, man, her story, she just really goes into detail about what she experienced in the labor camps, the kind of torture. And, she's crying, we're crying. It was just a very emotional interview. I've had so many people contact me, tell me that this is one of the best interviews that they've seen with us. Even my aunt and uncle, they were like blown away by it. And I didn't even know they really watched much of my shows so
yeah.
That's pretty cool. You did? Okay, so there's something else that we want to do for you guys. Rob, you got to check this out. I've been kind of holding this, you guys. So
I don't have mine yet.
Here we go. So, huge shout out to Renee. Considering the fact Rob was just joking one day and said, "Hey, we need to make a video of that shrugging guy." So one of our fans, Renee, who's a subscriber at edgeofwonder.tv as well, she sent us these shirts. I'm wearing mine, Rob.
Shrugging guy shirts.
I cannot believe she made it. So Derek, you want to play so some people looking at this are probably, what the heck is this? This is an old trailer. There he is right there. Oh, this guy has no idea that we're have t-shirts wearing them. I wish I could reach out to this guy and be like, who are you?
I know. I bet when he made that B-roll video, never did he imagine he'd be such a classic on our channel.
He's hilarious.
He's that guy is like synonymous with nachos on this channel.
It is. Yeah, I gotta figure out. Really, I don't know if there'll ever be a way to figure out who that guy is. I don't even know if he would ever watch our show.
I don't know, but it would be great
funny
to contact him and it'd be awesome if he was a patriot and we could have him on the show and just literally just get him to shrug a lot and take a lot of B-roll of that and use it in all of our trailers.
Oh, so funny. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I have a feeling most of those stock images are in the UK somewhere. So I have a feeling he's probably in the UK. I'm not over here.
Probably in the UK. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Pretty funny.
Okay, so Ben, did you double check this one, the high school football players one?
No, let's skip that.
Let's skip that one. Okay. So I think this next one is really important. Besides 22 wiped devices, 44 Mueller team iPhones had 0 records. I'm going to read that again because it's really important, this headline. Mm-hmm. Besides 22 wiped devices, 44 Mueller team iPhones had 0 records. What is the mathematical probability of that, people? Okay, so this is an Epoch Times article. The Epoch Times article says 44 phones used by members of Robert Mueller's Russia investigation contained no records when they were examined by an officer assigned to the team according to internal documents. Mm-hmm. 5 more special counsel office SCO phones contained only 1 record each, and 4 others contained fewer than 10 records per device, according to a log kept by a records officer over the course of more than 20 months. The lack of records on the iPhones is extraordinary given the immense scope of the probe. It is also suspicious considering that at least 22 phones belonging to members of the Mueller team were wiped, with employees offering questionable explanations for the erasures, or however you say that. Okay, now, this article basically goes on to say and explain the laws revolved around government equipment and wiping them and all of that stuff. And that's not something you're allowed to do.
Exactly.
So this is all very odd. And the amount of devices that have been wiped and why they were wiped and all of that stuff all seems to kind of allude to there being some foul play here. I mean, how else? Like, basically what I imagine is somebody coming up to Mueller and being like, Mueller, what's up with all of this? And Mueller just being like the shrugging guy, and being like, I don't know.
Yeah, seriously. Now, on the positive end of this, Bill Biney, Bill, that's his name, Biney or Benny? Bill?
Benny, I think. Is probably
I think it's Benny.
accurate.
I think it's Benny. He's really good friends with Robert David Steele, actually, but
that's right.
But he worked with the NSA back. I think I could be wrong about the time frame, but I want to say it's the 90s. He actually developed some special kind of technology that the NSA was using and still is using, and he had a tweet that was basically saying how to get this data using some of the software called Stellar Wind. And so, I would think that the NSA, being the NSA, probably whatever was erased from those phones, I can bet that they already have it. So, yeah. He's got the tweet right there. There you go. Yeah, so all they have to do is go to NSA Stellar Wind database and pull them out of all SMS going over the cell network and captured and stored forever. So this is crazy because I don't really understand exactly how this works, and I'm sure a tech person out there would be able to break it down super easily. But it seems that, so when we send messages digitally, everything is like going over the Wi-Fi, the cell towers, everything else. If you had technology that was able to intercept that and then decode it, then it's like you could pretty much get anything that you need to get. So, and then on top of that, the cell phone companies have, we all know, contracts with all the different 3-letter agencies out there. So I'm sure, but this goes both ways. This is the cool part about it. It's like the CIA was spying on citizens using this kind of technology, and then you have the NSA that's actually spying on the people spying on the citizen.
Right.
So anyway, I think this is a good sign that they're basically saying, from my understanding, like, yeah, we got it. It doesn't matter if they wiped him out or whatever, like that information is there. So it's pretty cool. We have to wait and see. It's like, I know we're all just like, why don't you just release all this stuff that they have? But, everything's got to be done in a very systematic way because the system is really corrupt from the top down. It doesn't matter if you arrest someone, if the judge is not good and whatever, you bribe the people or blackmail the jurors, like all these different things. There's so many different ways that people can get off from doing anything that they've done. So everything's got to be done in a lot more systematic way, and I think all at the same time. And I think that's what's kind of waiting to happen. But things are definitely heating up. As they get closer to the election, for sure. So,
hey Ben, did you notice I got up while you were talking at the beginning there for a second? So my mother was talking really loud on the telephone to one of her friends, and she was like, "Have you been watching what's going on with this Black Lives Matter stuff?" And she was going off about it, but she was really loud, and I was worried the audio was going to get on camera, so I had to go ask her just to keep it down a little bit.
That's funny.
So she's in the living room now yelling, hopefully.
So, real quick, we kind of went over that we passed over that high school thing. So I checked into it. Yeah, it's legit. Basically what happened was there was in Ohio, I'm not sure where this was at, what high school in Ohio, but there was a bunch of football players that were all suspended for carrying flags on 9/11, but they were carrying the blue line flag that representing the police force, and all of them got suspended. Little Miami. Oh, that's okay. That's probably in near Athens, I think. But anyway, it's just ridiculous. Like I just can't even. I can't even imagine living in a country where supporting your police, gets you suspended.
Supporting your, which is not really much different than supporting our armed troops or something, right?
No.
Like, how would you get suspended for that?
That doesn't make any sense at all. Now, okay, granted, I guess the way they're looking at it is like a political move, you know, but then.
Yeah, but then Black Lives Matter is a political move too, and you'd get suspended for that,
totally.
Right?
I mean, so it should go both ways then. And I don't know if anybody was promoting Black Lives Matter there, and you know things were okay. But I imagine they wouldn't have got suspended if they would have had a sign for Black
Derek,
Lives Matter.
tell
but,
Ben
you know,
that I lost him
but anyway,
on the phone. I got to call him back.
If this is if this was last year, this would have been no big deal at all. But yeah.
I was going to call you back. He lost you.
Oh. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties today.
Yeah, I don't. As if anything else couldn't happen today with the tech, right, Ben?
Yeah, exactly. So I lost Rob there, but at least we didn't lose the audience. So anyway, man, so much weird stuff going on today. What a crazy live this has been. Okay, do you want to go? Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk about the do?
Okay, so you guys, this next thing is definitely the biggest thing that's happened probably almost all year.
I would say almost 2 years in a way.
Yeah, I cannot emphasize that enough. Like maybe even in the last 4 years, honestly. So, and there's been a lot that's happened, right? Mm-hmm. So the Department of Defense, a guy from the Pentagon, basically publicly stated that the Chinese government, and I think it was Russia too, right? But that they are using directed energy weapons, that they are real. They confirmed that they are real and they are in use. Okay?
Which we've been saying for a long time.
Which we've been, yes, which all of us, you know, crazy conspiracy
theorists
have been
everybody
saying
in
for
this
a long
community,
time.
yeah. I mean...
Right? And, you know, when the fires happened last year in Palisade?
Well, in Paradise, you know, because we had David Wilcock on for that, and like everybody was making fun of us because, well, not everybody, a lot of people were saying, oh, this isn't, you know, they thought he went a little extreme talking about it. And honestly, you and I, we didn't honestly know, you know, we're just listening to David say this, but now we're getting direct confirmation that these do exist, and we're gonna play 2 videos for you guys that are gonna blow you away.
Wait, Ben, did you just say these do exist, as in DEW? They do.
They do.
All right, yeah, play that video. I just had a Ben joke.
The do exist.
And they're gonna blow you away.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in space, Moscow and Beijing have turned a once peaceful arena into a warfighting domain. They have weaponized space through killer satellites, directed energy weapons, and more, in an effort to exploit our systems and chip away at our military advantage. Furthermore, our competitors and adversaries exploit cyberspace to undermine our security without confronting our conventional strengths. They do this all in an increasingly gray zone
Derek,
of engagement.
that's enough.
So go to the next.
Thank you, bro.
Go to the next article down below, right below that. One. So this is actually a more important one to play. This video here, because it actually shows what it is. I don't know if there's sound or not. Or music.
This is music, dude.
Yeah, you can turn off. You can pause the music. We don't want to get flagged for some copyright thing. So basically, what this is this is showing how this weapon is being used, and it's on this aircraft, and there's photos of this aircraft that was going around with the fires. When was it? Was it last year? It was last year, right? In California. But this is the craft that they're using that are able to do this. And this shows like the technology and how it's created. Basically, they're creating these massive laser kind of beams that come from these aircraft and satellites that are super high powered, and they're able to just cause massive fires. And we've all seen the photos of, like, you know, beams of light coming down. Snopes try to debunk it, all these different things. But now, you know, this is direct confirmation that, yes, this stuff is real. And now we understand why Space Force is so important, right? Now, all of a sudden, China has secret energy weapons in space, and what does that do for Space Force, really, right? So it's like everyone's making fun of Space Force, but now all of a sudden...
Space Force!
things got really...
Hey, by the way, you guys, actually, you know what? I don't mean to interrupt you, Ben, but, you know, Luba, one of our coworkers, she got a 10% off with a code AUTUMN. So if you want to buy this shirt, you guys, you can put in 10%, you get 10% off, and all you have to do is put in the word autumn, and it expires on September 21st. So if you want a Space Force shirt, now's the time to do it, you guys. This is a pretty cool shirt. There's a lot of different products on there, so go check it out. And there's other shirts on there too, like this one. No, but unfortunately, no shrugging guy yet, okay? We're working on it.
I don't know if we can use that anyway. I don't know if this is a copyright.
No, I could draw it though, Ben.
You could draw it. You could, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, the shrugging guy. I still cannot believe that Renee made, when we opened it, I was just like, what in the world? We actually got shirts made for us for these. I don't know if I'm going to be, you know, really wearing this shirt around too much, but everyone's going to be like, who are you wearing on your shirt?
Yeah, but on the show, it's a great thing to wear, though.
I feel like I actually don't know. Some dude.
Okay, well, anyway. Back to Space Force and the dues.
Yes.
So this is the fact that China and Russia, and specifically China, was called out is like incredibly important.
Yes.
I'm actually probably not this week. We won't have it ready, but Ben and I are preparing a lot of stuff for you to show you more about what's going on with China and how it's been affecting the United States. A lot of people don't have this story. It's hard for them to acquire the information. Ben and I are like... we've been researching this stuff for like 20 years, so we kind of know what's going on. But it's very important that people understand that, you know, all of the videos that we just watched are these directed energy weapons creating things like fires. And now we have all of these fires breaking out, you know, across the West Coast. And it is no accident at all that the Pentagon has come out with this information precisely at the same time that stuff's going on. I mean, you'd have to be silly not to think that there's a correlation there, right?
Exactly.
So, and Ben, like, this is where you got to talk about that next article.
Yeah.
Now,
So this is
totally insane. You guys listen to this. Ben found this earlier, and it blew my mind. So
when Rob saw this at first, he was like, "Why are we talking about this right after the energy weapons?" So. This guy, this Twitter link, he posted this video of all these dead birds in New Mexico. Well, Derek, sorry, I forgot to get the actual article where this is from. But what's happening in a couple different, I got it, there it is. A couple different states around the country, So in this article from the Daily Star, it says an alarming mass die-off of wild birds in the southern U.S. has scientists worried and perplexed. The cause is not clear at all. Scientists think it is due to climate change. Most of the birds are insect eaters, and they've been found emancipated and disoriented, suggesting a gap in the food supply. There's also a speculation that wildfires are affecting the lives of these birds. So, of course, mainstream is saying they're blaming climate change, but to me, that's such a cop-out. It's like, oh, we can't explain it, climate change. So yesterday, because climate change just yesterday made a bunch of dirt birds die, it's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like yesterday, climate change killed a bunch of birds.
Okay, wait. Let's take a vote out there, everyone who's on the chat. What is more likely to kill birds? A direct energy weapon or a climate change?
Or
answer in the chat for us.
Yeah, I mean,
no, really.
No, it's like climate change. It's like, what does that even mean? How exactly can you explain what part of climate change? Is it too hot? Did it get too cold? Did something release in the air, some gas? Like they don't explain anything. There's like climate change, and they leave it at that. But
look at the comments coming in.
But a lot of people suspected it was actually 5G towers in the area or chemtrails that could have caused this. And then the other thing was the EMF bands.
But if chemtrails could do any of that, there'd be dead birds everywhere 100% of the time.
That's what I think too. So I'm kind of ruling out the chemtrail idea too. And same thing with 5G towers. And so the only thing that makes sense to me is a high concentrated, some kind of like EMF, like electromagnetic field, or some kind of like high density energy coming from somewhere in those areas, which could act as a weapon. So I mean,
yeah, but dude,
I'm just doing a shrugging guy.
If this is happening to birds, like think about what it could potentially be doing to humans too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is serious stuff. Like, are the humans in those areas like getting hurt from this?
Yeah.
Like, this is a big deal.
This is a really big deal. And I'm not trying to say it is the do weapons at all, but it's, another aspect is like GMO insects released in some areas, but then again, we would be seeing it in multiple areas, right? This is like just happening. So something serious is going on, and it just bothers me that the scientists are like, oh, we have no clue. We're just calling it climate change and leaving it at that. And it's just like, damn, that's just a cop-out. I mean,
yes.
It's like, come on.
So this, I actually, Derek, we'll get to it in a second. So kind of going off of this, okay, because we've started the conversation on China. We're going to get back to this in a second, but I want you to understand the fact that China and satellites China has developed have directed energy weapons, or that technology, is very, very serious. Okay? Very serious. That's technology that can endanger people in the United States or people across the world, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is China doing right now? And what is their involvement in our situation? This is something that Ben and I are going to try to bring to your doorstep so you guys don't have to go looking for it. But this week, something that happened
hold on.
What's up?
There's like everyone on Twitter right now is going nuts saying that Ruth Bader Ginsburg just died.
It's died?
Ruth Bader. Yeah, Bader. Ginsburg,
no way.
whatever her name is. Gangrene.
Yeah, seriously.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Rob, but it was just like everybody on the chat too are
apparently,
blown up. So go ahead.
If that's the case, hold on.
We're just looking into this now, you guys. I'll just call her gangrene.
Okay.
No, people aren't going to know what that is, Ben.
Well, everyone knows what gangrene is.
Call her Darth Bader.
Darth Bader. I'm trying to find an actual news report to see if she actually died.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's that. Wait, dude, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies at 87, NPR.
No way!
And this was 12 minutes ago.
No way! They finally admitted she's dead.
Wow.
Holy cow!
Dude, Mark Taylor, he called this one.
Wow! Really? Mark Taylor called this?
Ben,
yeah.
Is it me, or does all the crazy stuff happen while
we're alive?
I don't know why.
I don't know why either. That always seems to happen. And actually,
there's people on our chat saying she's been dead though.
No, I mean
there has been a lot of speculation about that.
I completely believe she's been dead for a year. They've just been holding off, trying to figure out the right time to explain it. Everyone's been talking about she's been dead, and even that video that came out was proven to be edited because there's people. She's standing there. The camera's on her. Then the camera pans over, and you just see her, and all of a sudden these people are walking in front of her. But when it shows the camera on her, there's a pole, there's a chain there. There's no way that people can go through that. So it definitely was edited. So most of us think that she's been dead for a long time. And
all right,
anyway,
so
this
Ben,
is crazy though.
So the real question is, how did a woman that's 140 years old not die sooner? I mean, you all at home were asking that question. I'm just bringing the rationality into this whole thing, right?
Wow, that's so crazy. Wow. I can't believe that this happened while we're alive. This is
okay. Now, guys, this is extreme. Like, why is this important?
She could have been executed.
Hold it.
Yeah.
So for everyone at home who doesn't understand the significance of this, the reason why Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying is so insanely important is because now President Trump can bring on a new justice onto a kind of split Supreme Court panel.
Exactly.
Okay? We know a few of them have already been blackmailed and they're playing for the other side. Kavanaugh got in. If Trump brings another one in, this means that a lot of legislation that the DS, the deep state, has kind of pushed forward can actually start to get undone, and it can heal our country a lot.
Exactly.
This is
actually huge.
Huge news.
Because this goes along with what we were just talking about the arrests. You know, she was one of the people that was in place that was protecting all of the pedophiles, especially because she was friends with all of them. They had deals and everything else. So this is really, really big. This is like a turning point where they can slowly start taking over. I mean, the good guys, like, you know, start putting their own people in place. So this is really great news. And this is really bad news if you're on the other side. So.
Oh, but how is it that they're like, I don't know, like this, we know that she was in very rough condition and or dead previously. So the fact that this has come out that she's died is huge.
It's huge.
That means that is confirmation that an alliance exists if there ever was.
Yeah, I would agree
aside from Trump becoming president.
Yeah.
But people get like, you know, discouraged a lot because of everything going on. So this is, did people drop a house on her?
Sorry.
Did you see that?
Lotus Petal, she said, rest in peace, RPG, another victim of climate change. Sorry, that was too funny not to read that. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, that's okay. So, all right, well, let's get back to Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yes.
We were just talking about, so a lot of these, I don't want to get into that right now, but we were just talking about directed energy weapons, and we were talking about China, right? And this issue is just as big as Darth Vader, actually. And the Chinese Communist Party has actually been, they've had gigantic propaganda campaigns against us, right? Recently. And, you know, we know Mike Pompeo has been, you know, he's our secretary who's in charge of, you know, all foreign affairs and stuff like that.
He's awesome.
Right. He's been doing a great job. He's been talking out on on China, our Secretary of State. So he's been targeted as a top enemy of the Chinese regime, actually. Can you like, and the CCP's mouthpieces, which is all of their media, like all of their medias are state controlled. They're calling him the quote, common enemy of mankind, right? That's how they do it. Like anytime someone poses a threat, he's the enemy to all of mankind, right? And another state media chimed in and even called Pompeo a fat pig.
Way
on television. Way, dude.
Ah, man.
So, yeah. So this is like, now we're going to keep going with this China thing, all right? So we all know this week, earlier in the week, a Chinese virologist named Li Meng Yan, she had her Twitter account suspended, okay? Now, Li Meng Yan, who's a Chinese virologist, she defected to the United States, okay? And her account was suspended by Twitter after she published a research paper that suggested the novel coronavirus had a lab origin, or came from a lab.
Yeah, came from a lab.
So Dr. Yan and others are now criticizing Twitter for restricting scientific research based on political interests. Now, this is a way bigger story than people understand, because when you start suppressing scientists who are bringing out legitimate information that have done something like defected to the United States, that's actually showing, like, to the scientific and the community exactly that Twitter is actually acting unfairly. Yeah. So even if they're on the left, but they're scientists, now they're starting to see the true picture of what Twitter is actually doing, right?
Yes.
So that's actually really huge.
It's exactly
now,
it.
Then we had Ted Cruz this week, who appeared on one of Epoch Times' shows. I think it was Crossroads or something.
Really?
Right?
No, American Thought Leaders.
American Thought Leaders, I guess.
American Thought Leaders. Sorry, it was American Thought Leaders. No, it wasn't Crossroads. That's right. It was American Thought Leaders. Okay, so anyway, they also published an article about Ted Cruz and some of the things that he said. And I'm going to read a little bit of this article because this is very, very important. And I want all of you to listen because this has everything to do with those directed energy weapons, okay? The Chinese Communist regime is the new evil empire, bent on defeating the United States to become the world's only superpower, Senator Ted Cruz warns. Truth, people, okay? Quote, China's objectives are world domination, he said in a recent interview on the Epoch Times American Thought Leaders program. They intend to utterly defeat the United States. Unquote. Drawing on President Ronald Reagan's famous Cold War speech describing the Soviet Union as an evil empire, Cruz said the world is now grappling with a new malicious regime in the form of the Chinese Communist Party. Cruz believes that to counter the threat, the U.S. administration should take a page from Reagan's book. Quote, for the entirety of the Cold War, we didn't get in a shooting war with the Soviet Union, Cruz said. Cruz noted. Rather, and Reagan understood this best, we engaged in a systematic, comprehensive effort to shine a light, to use the power of truth, to use economic pressures, to use diplomatic pressures, and to use the incredible power of the American free enterprise system to defeat them and to bankrupt them. Quote, we need to have the same comprehensive strategy, much like we did in winning the Cold War. We need to have the same strategy for defeating China. Whoa. Mm-hmm. That is, that's so huge because the United States is starting to wake up to the fact that the way China has been trying to defeat the United States has been basically overcoming its economy and overcoming its technology. If they can do that, then they can basically take the United States down and they'd be the only global superpower. Right?
Right.
So that is it's like totally gigantic news that people shouldn't be overlooking, especially since they're interfering in the election so much. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
But anyway, enough Big about stuff. China. Let's talk about Kanye pissing on Grammys.
This is
Wait. Before we do that.
Okay.
Do a trailer break.
Okay. You're gonna play that first trailer.
Oh yes.
Right?
Go ahead, Derek.
I'll play the one we were talking over.
Okay.
Haiti. Planned Parenthood. Epstein Island. All roads seem to lead back to the same dark agendas, and we are bringing them all to the light. Don't miss this crucial conclusion to one of the most important Edge of Wonder series to date, Traffic, Part 3, The Fall of Babylon. Coming September 17th only on edgeofwonder.tv.
Go ahead.
No, that's all right.
Okay, we're back. Kanye.
And I'm still here. I didn't go use the bathroom like I was thinking about doing. So anyway, speaking of going to the bathroom, this week, Kanye actually peed on one of his 900 Grammys that he won.
Oh, he actually peed on it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like a tweet of him pissing on a Grammy.
Wow.
Okay, now, what everyone needs to understand about this situation is Kanye... Okay, I'm going to read from this article, okay? It's from musicfeeds.com.au. Quote, Kanye West has continued to slam major recording companies in a series of new tweets. They arrive after rapper called the music industry modern-day slave ships and compared himself to Moses earlier this week, saying he wouldn't release any more new music until his contract with Sony and Universal has ended. Now he's posted dozens of screenshots on what appears to be recording contracts, asking every lawyer in the world to take a look at them. Yeezy also shared a video that seemingly shows him pissing on a Grammy Award, unquote. So
that's crazy.
He got banned from Twitter for at least temporarily for his tweets about calling the music industry modern day slavery.
I mean, it is. It actually is. So if you
according to our research.
If you guys don't understand the music industry and the contracts, so when a recording artist records their music, I've looked into this just into music myself. You don't own most of those contracts. You sign away your master copy. So you don't own even though you created the music and many of the contracts, you don't own your master copy. That means they can do whatever they want. So all the royalties, if somebody wants to use your song, you get, money from that. But in reality, the money that the companies are getting is like so much more massive than what you're doing, even though you created the song. It's because they're like, well, we paid for your marketing, we paid for your record to actually make the record, we put the money up in front and blah, blah, blah. So we're getting this money reimbursed. And so I think Kanye said, basically it's like 90% to the record company and 10% to the artist. And when I was working in the record store, I mean, this is back in the early 2000s, but we would always have these conversations, and I would talk to people who are recording artists, and they said the same thing. You basically, for every CD that was sold that was like $9.99, they would get 10% of that. If maybe 10%, maybe even just sometimes even as little as 10 cents. If you're like somebody that's a super big artist, you might get a little bit more, but that's why being on tour was so important, because they make most of their money being on tour, not selling CDs or songs or t-shirts. Actually, it was through t-shirts. Can you believe that? They make more money selling t-shirts than they do CDs.
Hey Ben, I've been looking at the chat while you were talking a little bit, and I noticed a few people thought we said granny and not Grammy.
Granny.
So just to make a correction here, Kanye did not piss on a granny. Kanye pissed on a Grammy. Grammy Award. Okay. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that.
Oh man.
Derek's
I think they were just being funny in the chat.
Why would he pee on a grandma?
I don't know.
I think it just sounded like we said granny.
Is maybe
some people call their grandmas Grammy.
Really? Granny? Grammy.
Dude, okay,
I've never heard Grammy.
No, I can
Granny.
attest to this. My 97-year-old grandmother on my dad's side, who's from the South, we call Granny.
Yeah, Granny, but not Grammy.
No, not Grammy.
Grammy. Yeah, Granny. I know. People call their grandmothers Granny, but they don't call them, hey, Grammy. You win a Grammy.
No, they do. Some call them Grammy.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah.
Never heard that before. Anyway, that's pretty funny, though. It's
only on Edge of Wonder can we go from Grammy to trying to explain to everyone what a granny is.
That reminds me of that joke that's like comma saves lives. It's like, don't eat grandma. And then it's like, don't eat, comma, grandma.
Yeah, dude.
So without the comma, it looks like, don't eat grandma. But then it's like, don't eat grandma. Anyway, pretty funny. Okay. So, all right. What's next?
All right, we're gonna get into Joe Rogan soon, but I wanted to show everyone this. We've been getting updates on what's going on out west from a couple of our friends that live out there, namely John Vivanco, who was on last week, and our buddy James Gilliland.
Yeah.
But I asked John today if anything was going on, and he provided me this article, and I wanted everyone to take a look at this. So this is important because there is actually absolutely no motive for this kind of not even vandalism, terrorism, I guess you could call it. So if you look here on this article that Derek is pulled up. Derek, can you scroll down a little bit? You don't need to show this video here. I want you to look at the image. So keep scrolling down, and there's an image showing. Oh, nope, that's not it. Keep scrolling down. Is it? There should be.
It's not there.
Okay, so I'll just tell you what it is then. Why don't you hit play there and keep it muted, and I'll tell everyone. Okay, so now what he's talking about, he's showing you this wood, right? And he's right behind some power poles. Yeah. The power poles got a bunch of chainsaw cuts in them. And then some of them were only being supported by the power lines. And then some of them were falling. And this is right near where people are like biking on this trail here, right? And a couple of them, see, there it is. A couple of them fell down. It's really like, basically everyone over there is really freaked out because this isn't just fires, which is like arson, you know, like these are like 4,000 people lost power because somebody was going around doing this. So everybody over there is like, it just goes along with this being some kind of like anarchy group, not just normal people out there. Nobody does this out there, you know? So this is only, to put this into perspective, this is only a little bit north of Portland, Oregon, where this place is. It's not far away. This is all happening right around that Portland, Oregon area. So these guys, like everybody's really freaked out over there because the safety of the people, this is like a very, like, it's kind of like a rural area, you know, like this doesn't normally happen, this kind of stuff. Right. So it is terrorism. People are losing power. Like somebody can lose their life easily from this, you know?
Right. Well, and also there is that, you know, there's a lot of posts and photos going around of, it looks like on the surface, it looks like people carrying water and things like that. But then like there was that photo of a truck that had all this water and it looks like, oh, we're going to like bring this over to people who need it. But then in the back of the truck, there's also two canisters of gasoline. And it's like, why would you need gasoline to help
Amen,
people
brother.
with water? So, yeah. Anyway, that was always weird. And then there's that other photo that came out of people holding, I'm trying to find the photo actually, people holding the Antifa. Oh, here let me, I'm trying not to use it as this image. But here, Derek, let me pull this up for you.
Yep.
I'm just going to put it right under the Linwood thing. Why? Do you see it?
You can paste anything.
What is going on? Sorry. That's weird. I pasted a link and it disappeared.
Is this related to the fires then?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
Oh, got it.
Yep. I don't know if you saw this. Anyway, so this was from this is a screenshot from a YouTube video, and it was basically these three guys who are saying in the video, they're talking about how they are, you know, part of Antifa and they're trying to help the firefighters fight the fires. But then you look on the back of this dude's shirt and he's got
totally has a gasoline thing
tank on his back. And then also, why would they need to cover up their faces if they're doing something good? So so in the video they covered up.
No, this is them talking to one another. Hey, we're out here and doing what we're being asked, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this is definitely, you know, you can kind of see it from your perspective what you think of that.
So I want to run through the next stuff quick because we have to get on to weirder news. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this. I noticed this was going nuts on Twitter before Darth Vader died. So there was a Business Insider article that published that said Joe Rogan falsely blamed forest fires in Oregon on left-wing activists. Okay, and then the summary for the article is Joe Rogan echoed false claims on the latest episode of his podcast that left-wing activists had been arrested in connection to forest fires in Oregon. Local law enforcement, the FBI, and Snopes have repeatedly debunked rumors linking the fires to activity by extremists of Antifa. Spotify reached a deal in May that will see Rogan's The Joe Rogan Experience podcast become exclusively available on that platform this year. According to a Vice report, there are internal discussions over Spotify's decision to host the podcast, given content that critics say is transphobic. So he's getting nailed for basically telling the truth. And I thought it would be really interesting to show you guys what actual local law enforcement from that area are really saying. Derek, do you think it would be possible to pull up that YouTube video there?
Because it's very serious right now. Okay.
What I heard...
And my name's Mark, by the way.
Okay. What I heard from some...
Sir, are you part of this? Will you please go over there then? Thank you.
What I heard was from some conservatives.
Okay.
Right?
And this is serious. I mean, I want to know whatever you know.
Yeah. That
these are with Cop Watch stuff, so we're talking. All right,
that they were... they had guns in the car. They said that there was Antifa that set a barrel on fire in Sandy.
I don't know that.
Okay. And they said that... Well, they said someone's seen it.
Okay.
And they said...
Are you videoing just so I know? Just so, are you recording? Okay, that's cool. That's fine.
And what they did was they... what they're doing is they're driving around looking for Antifa.
Your friends are, or whoever these people are, the conservatives?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I also know, because the guy showed me a video.
If you have, is a video showing cars or anything like that?
No.
Because we're serious about this, okay?
Yeah. A guy showed me this video right here.
Let me get my glasses on.
Or not a video, but a picture.
Okay. Gas cans and propane? Okay.
Yeah. They found that in a bush.
Where?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Can we find out where? Because here's what I'm worried about. Bob, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm worried about is that there's people stashing stuff, right?
Right.
It means that they're going to go in preparation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I don't want to sound like some doomsdayer,
right?
But it's getting serious, and we need the public's help on this.
There are people that are not going to leave their homes, and if this happens, if they start igniting more fires, people are going to die.
Right.
That's not okay.
No.
It shouldn't be okay with anybody on Cop Watch. Or
Hell no, it's not.
Anybody in the world right now.
No.
That's absolutely crossing a huge line.
Right.
Is he with
politics or anything?
Is he part of your crew?
No one's with me.
Okay.
I'm by myself.
All right, because he was mean mugging, and I was like,
yeah.
You want to go talk to that guy?
Yeah.
There was something up with him. So if you know anything, please.
Derek, you can, yeah.
Okay, you can stop now. Thanks. Yeah, so, okay, the law enforcement there, actually, that was the sheriff. You could see it on his chest, right? They're taking this really seriously. Like, they're actually out there scouting to find these people, and they know that this stuff is going on. And you could totally understand that with the line of questioning. So this Business Insider article has been debunked by what local law enforcement actually are saying. So you can't, and anyone who's using Snopes in this day and age has to have like an extra chromosome. Like
or missing a chromosome, you mean? Extra would be maybe a good thing.
All right, missing, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, I think this is very obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
And, Joe Rogan actually went onto Twitter. You can pull this up, Derek, if you like. It says Joe Rogan on the hot seat. He basically apologized publicly for what he said, saying he got it messed up. But I don't think he did get it messed up. I think that he's getting threatened now, and that's really sad, Now, the next thing I want to point out, this goes right after that, is there was a study done.
Or maybe
Black Lives Matter accounts for nearly 100% of riots across the country over 3 months. Now, you can click on this article and pull it up. Derek, the Black Lives Matter BLM movement accounts for nearly 100%, precisely 91% of the riots throughout the country, according to this latest study. This is just data. The U.S. has lived through over 635 riots between May 26th and September 12th, and 91% of those riots have been linked to the BLM movement based on data from a joint project of the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project and Bridging Divides Initiative at Princeton University called the U.S. Crisis Monitor. Download. Okay. And then basically it goes on to, call Black Lives Matter a Marxist organization, which is really true. So you guys can check this article out. It's a bit harsh on them, and it just says things very plainly about what's going on. It's from DJHJ Media. And I was actually pretty impressed to see some data actually finally coming out on this,
Yeah. I'd love to make a bet with people on this saying, hey, I bet you how much money you want to bet that there's people in Antifa setting fires. See what they would actually do.
Yeah.
Because,
right.
If they would say, oh, it's probably people on the other side, but most people on the other side don't want to see their country get burned down, like extreme, right, whatever. But anyway, it's just crazy stuff that is going on. And hopefully, I think ultimately, and James, actually, to kind of talk about James Gilliland, who owns ESETI out there, we were asking him how he's doing. He said he's about 25 miles away from where the nearest fire is, but he said it's really pretty smoky where he is, but it's not as bad as where John Vivanco is. John Vivanco, he said he can't even go outside.
So. John today told me that it's clearing up a little bit.
That's good.
But then there was these poles that started to get these chainsaws.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Cutting to them. So
that's totally nuts. So. All right.
For all of those of you tuning in right now, we realize Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead, and we talked about it about a half hour ago.
Yep.
Just so you know. Ben, why don't we start Weirder News?
Why don't we go to Weirder News? All right. Weirder News. Do we need to do anything before we go to Weirder News, Derek?
You mean other than me going to piss on my own Grammy?
Oh, poor Grandma.
No, not Grandma. My Grammy Award, man.
Actually, I thought I heard you say Granny there. I did actually.
No, I said Grammy. The M and the N sound a lot alike. Anyway, go on.
I know you don't have a Grammy. Anyway, okay, number 10. Australian airline Qantas flight to nowhere sells out in 10 minutes. I'm still really baffled by this. I actually had to read this a couple times to figure out what the heck is going on. So Qantas announced that a 7-hour scenic flight to nowhere, whatever that really means, which will take off and land at the same airport, amid interstate travel restrictions during the coronavirus pandemic lockdown, sold out in 10 minutes. Buyers quickly snatched up 134 available seats priced between $575 and over $2,500, depending on the seating class. A spokesperson said it's probably the fastest selling flight in Qantas history.
Okay. Can I just bring up something totally bizarre revolved around this? Right now, Qantas, the only airplane company that goes in and out of Australia can't even get people from other countries into Australia right now.
Yeah.
And they're selling out a flight to nowhere, and they're not even bringing their own people back. There's people that are marooned out in New Zealand and stuff right now.
Yeah, I really don't. This I can't even figure out what is going on. Why in the world would people pay this much?
Oh, dude, all of the flights,
for a 7-hour flight,
all of the flights to Australia are booked past the new year right now. And they're selling out a flight to nowhere. It makes no sense. Just add in flights if people need them,
All right. That I don't know.
It's weird. Okay, so number 9.
Yep.
You guys probably didn't know this, but there was a Trump-themed wedding. So the Trump retweeted these guys on September 12th. The wedding party had bridesmaids in red, the bride in white, and the groom and groomsmen in blue. There were Trump 2020 signs, and the whole house was painted red, white, and blue. Talk about patriotism.
That's a very big Trump.
Now, it's not the first time someone threw a Trump-themed wedding. In 2019, a couple from Michigan had a MAGA patriot wedding as well. So that's pretty fun stuff there. That cutout of Trump is gigantic, man.
That's crazy. Sorry, no questions. That's pretty funny. That's pretty
Very funny.
All right, number 8. This one is very interesting. Dentist sentenced to 12 years in jail for extracting a tooth while riding a hoverboard.
No
and
way.
There's actually a video of him doing it.
Wait. This poor man actually was sentenced to 12 years in prison?
For riding a hoverboard while doing an operation. But there's other things going on. I guess he had some issues. So he was sentenced for 12 years but it was more than just riding a hoverboard. He had various misdemeanors, including extracting a patient's tooth while riding this. So it says he had dozens of charges stemming from actions that ranged from his scooting antics to Medicaid fraud and removing a person's teeth without their permission. I still don't know how you remove someone's teeth without their permission. I guess if they're knocked unconscious, you can kind of do whatever you want. Anyway, so there was other things involved rather than him just writing. And it also went on to say that he faked a lot of different things. He might not have even been a real dentist. It's hard to say. But anyway, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's disturbing. But not as disturbing as number 7, which is Notorious B.I.G.'s $6 plastic crown sold for over $590,000 in auction. So the crown worn by Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace in his last photo shoot sold for $594,750, including Sotheby's buyer's premium fees and taxes during an auction, despite its original $6 price tag.
The interesting thing is it went on to say, talking about that famous photo, and the photographer didn't want him to wear it because they thought it looked too cheap. They're like, you're putting a plastic crown on your head. But B.I.G., I guess, wanted to wear it and became this iconic photo because everyone thought it was a crown made of gold, not a plastic crown
Not a Burger King
crown. Pretty funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 6. This is kind of interesting. So there was supposedly a UFO that flew over New Jersey and that actually stopped traffic on the highway. Everyone's freaking out. There's multiple videos of it. I remember seeing it last week, kind of trying to figure out what was going on, but I didn't put it on here actually because I had a feeling, I was like, this is too much. There's too many people seeing this. There's too many videos of it. I'm going to wait and figure out to see what was really going on. Yeah.
But that video right there, you can kind of tell. It looks like, so did you reveal what it is actually, Ben?
Not yet. So Derek, why don't you click on that next link? So first I read it in Snopes and I was like, okay. But now, after seeing the photos, it makes sense. Basically, it looks like it's the Goodyear blimp. So, did you click on the next link, Derek? Oh, okay. So basically, they're saying that this was hovering over the New York Giants versus Pittsburgh Steelers football game and the New Jersey's MetLife Stadium, and that's what caused the panic. Now, what's weird is that light in the center, because where the people sit is more in the front, and there's not many lights around it. But sorry, I thought does it show it in there? Can you scroll down a little bit more, Derek? It doesn't show it. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
There it is, yeah. But what's on the other side of that blimp is this digitalized word that's like, it's like saying stuff, and it just says new something another, and that's what that blue light is. So it is, unfortunately, the Goodyear blimp and not a UFO, but I think it's the shape of it, because you can't really see. This is the weird thing. It looks kind of deflated.
It looks like it looks like not deflated, but almost like it's a this one on the right is like an older version of the blimp, and maybe the new one is like a more modern, like updated design that's like sleeker or something.
Right.
But I did notice in some of the videos that I watched that you could actually see the writing on the side of it, and it said Goodyear.
Yeah, I know. Spirit Aeon, he said something interesting. He says NFL attendance is so low, only UFOs will attend.
Yeah.
Seriously. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, and you can see the lights. In one of the videos, you can see the light flashing, and it's like a constant flashing, and that's kind of a giveaway sign. It's like, oh, it's not a UFO. And you can tell there that it's the blimp. But unfortunately,
yeah, this is not a Peter Maxwell Slattery special.
No.
Basically, is what we're saying. To get the good stuff, you got to go to Peter. Actually, Peter's in the chat right now. He knows all about this.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so number 5. Women drive down highway in golf cart after missing a lift. Lyft, like the Uber competitor. So a viral video shows a golf cart zooming down a highway after the passengers apparently missed their Lyft ride. The driver of the golf cart asked Green if he would give them a ride since he was recording them with his phone. Some of the girls in the video could be seen trying to hide their faces with their masks and bonnets.
You can play the video, Derek. There's like, or is there's sound. The guy's just like freaking out. He's like, he just keeps saying this is super.
There's no audio. I don't get
No, there is audio.
I'm telling you there's none.
Well, there is, but.
I'm not getting anything.
Twitter hasn't been good with audio
today.
today.
That's weird. Basically, the guy's just like kind of freaking out, saying, like, you guys, this is super dangerous, and he keeps saying that, and they're like, quit filming us, let us focus on it if it's so dangerous, and they're like yelling at him and everything else, but unfortunately, the Bowie Police Department confirmed the incident and said the 5 teenage girls on the golf cart were later taken into custody and charged with stealing a golf cart.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if they stole it or not, but I don't know. Anyway, that's what they said. All right, number 4. This one's, mind-blowing.
Dude, this is hilarious.
Tesla driver pulled over for going 93 miles an hour while completely asleep.
What, did he hit the insanity button while he was sleeping?
No, he purposely looked like he went to sleep. So he pulled the seat all the way back and actually fell asleep. And what happened was when the police officer noticed, I don't know how, probably because he was speeding, and as the police officer was trying to catch up to him, for some reason, the car automatically would go faster. So they finally, after pulling him over, the officer charged the driver, who is from British Columbia, with speeding and suspended his license for 24 hours. After further investigation, police charged him with dangerous driving, and he is summoned to appear in court in December. But the ironic thing is, this isn't the first time a Tesla driver was arrested for not driving. One was eating and drinking and then got into an accident because of that. Another was watching a movie on his phone when he smashed into several police cars. And another was playing a video game.
What they're not telling you is that the driver of the vehicle wasn't asleep. The driver was Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Maybe. That's pretty funny.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. Man wears live snake instead of a mask on Manchester bus. What a sicko. A man in Manchester, England was spotted taking government social distancing and mask mandates to a whole other level on Monday when he was spotted boarding a bus wearing a live snake around his face. One witness told the Manchester Evening News, "At first I thought he had a really funky mask on, then he let it crawl around the handrails. No one was really bothered on the bus, but a man behind took a video. It was definitely entertaining," the witness added. Yo, you people in England are messed up if you think that was entertaining. I'm just saying.
I think he was just like totally done with the mask, and he's just gonna wear a snake. But that's pretty crazy.
No, it is fun. It is funny.
All right, number 2. This is very really out there, literally. Bizarre moment: floating building that looks like Hogwarts appears over a city in China. So, I was trying to
Hogwarts.
I mean, that's what it actually looks like. So this is on Weibo, the social media platform in China, and it was actually captured on multiple cameras. So there were several different angles posted to the Chinese site. So that way it's not fake. If it was just one video that everyone is reposting, that's one thing. But then they actually interviewed different people on this. So some say it was a reflection of a window of possibly like a residential building. But I mean, look at those. Those buildings are flat, and then you have like these pointed things. So there's no way that's definitely not a reflection.
There's a lot of these mirages in China.
There's a whole bunch
don't you
of
think?
them.
It's weird, right?
A whole bunch of them. I mean, we talked about this a lot. Now, I mean, you know, this is like a mirage known as Fata Morgana, but yeah, it's so fascinating that this happens in China a lot. Now, some people associate it with the Project Bluebeam stuff. Other people actually say that for whatever reason, China seems to capture this, but we're actually seeing something in another dimension as well. So it's kind of hard to say, but this isn't created. Like this didn't appear to be like manufactured using digitally enhanced or anything else, or faked or any way. It actually seems to be legit because there's multiple camera angles. So yeah, I mean, people are saying like dimensional shift or whatever, ghost cities. So it's really, really fascinating, and you can actually look online and see how many. Now, granted, some of them are fake, the ones you're going to see online. There are like fake ones out there, but the real ones you can tell because there's multiple views. There's all these people that will come out there and all stare in the sky, and like everyone is recording at once. My hand just disappeared. But anyway, so speaking of mirages.
Yeah.
Anyway, pretty interesting stuff though, either way. So pretty cool.
Number 1 was definitely saved for me to read, it seems.
This is great stuff.
YouTuber, yeah. So okay,
well,
you guys,
actually, let me before you read it. Number 1 is technically number 2.
Yeah, good one. YouTuber records peaceful protest of himself pooping on Speaker Pelosi's driveway. YouTuber by the name of Life's Maverick live streamed himself defecating on the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's driveway in San Francisco, and then telling people on the street what he just did. Soon the police caught up with him and arrested him. Armando added, "It was a peaceful protest," unquote. A GoFundMe page was created for him.
That's his real name. Armando is the real YouTuber's real name. But actually, the video is there.
It's not available.
Oh no, Derek, go down another link on the doc. Okay. It's after the GoFundMe thing, and we can actually
Do we want to show that?
It's a peaceful poop test.
We could show a peaceful poop test. We could show a little bit. You can't really see too much, honestly. Just hit.
Not working.
It's not working. What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean it's not working?
I'm opening it. Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yeah, it's opening on my end.
All right, playing it.
Did you?
There it is.
Okay, there it is. There's Armando.
Is it playing? Oh, there it is.
Oh no, there it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for it.
I can't believe
he popped his quad.
The thing is, I keep thinking if this guy did this in front of the Trump Tower, maybe the Trump Tower is not a good example, but in front of the White House, would he have gotten arrested?
Okay, you can stop now. I really don't want to see him take a dump.
You don't really see anything, honestly. You can't really see anything at all.
All right, he's sprung.
Oh yeah, you can see it over there. It's left on the
just
driveway.
Little thing. It's so weird though. And then he starts running in the streets telling everybody that what he just did, and then all of a sudden the police. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a little thing, Ben. That guy took a dump.
That's crazy, crazy. Anyway, I'm not suggesting that people go out and do any of that by all means, but it's just like kind of a he you know, it's like burn a building down or just poop in front of it. It's like you got two different extremes, and for whatever reason, you know. Anyway, it's pretty funny stuff though.
Anyway. Yeah. So you guys, we have a new season of Relics of Power coming out really soon. The last season is going to focus on some really awesome stuff like the Holy Grail and the Ring of Power. That's Solomon's Ring. Mm-hmm. And you guys, if you guys like the other seasons of the Relics of Power, this final season is totally going to blow your mind. Like, it pulls so many different things in together and ties in so many additional things. That series, or this entire series, or the multiple seasons that we've had or whatever, it's been some of the best work we've done for the production quality. So you guys should totally go check that out and support us on edgeofwonder.tv. For those of you that are supporting us, we love you guys and we appreciate you so much, because you're the reason why we can keep doing what we're doing. Exactly. And keep this work going, and even keeping this live YouTube show going. So if you're not subscribed to us, you should go check it out, because we provide so much amazing content on edgeofwonder.tv, and it's well worth the $9.99. That's just a couple of lattes, one for me, one for Ben a month, and you get so much more back for that. But we really appreciate you guys for supporting us and for keeping us going, because YouTube's not.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And we know Derek is going to be showing the final trailer, or one of the final trailers for Relics of Power, coming up really soon. Ben, did you have anything else that you wanted to add before we skedaddle tonight?
Actually, my dad, we have another episode for my dad, Papa Chastain, Coffee Talk with Papa Chastain, that was published as well. So that was, I think, last Saturday. It's actually a really good episode that he uploaded, really talking about patience, and I think it really it's something that everybody can get something out of. It's just it was one of his best episodes that I think he really did, and it's just really cool that he's doing this, so it's awesome. So check that out too if you guys haven't seen that yet. So, and
also, I just want to, on behalf of Ben and I, give a gigantic shout out to the man behind the scenes, Derek, who puts up with all of these tech difficulties every week. Derek, we love you. Everything that you do, you're the man. And thanks so much for helping us out every week. And behind the scenes, you're the faceless, nameless hero of Edge of Wonder, one of them, one of many. But yeah, Derek, thanks so much for everything.
Yes, and I think do you have anything else?
No, I think we should show that. Teaser. But I also want to say we have another series that just came out on human trafficking.
Oh, yeah.
It's very relevant to everything going on right now, you guys, and we go really deep. One of them is already on YouTube. It's called Trafficked. You guys should check all of our human trafficking stuff out. It will arm you guys with ammunition to be able to speak to your friends and family. We also have a series coming out on the history of the parties, which will blow your minds.
Yeah, that was really
good. It's actually about racism and where it all started and how all of that transpired. And you guys should check those out. But definitely, please support us on edgeofwonder.tv. And yeah, Derek, why don't you roll it? Until next time, we'll see you out.
On the edge. See you later, guys, next week.
Thank you, Wonder fans, for being wide awake and the greatest part of another WonderCast Live. And for those of you who want to go deeper still, be sure to subscribe to edgeofwonder.tv. Share, like, subscribe, and keep watch for the next notification so you don't miss a single WonderCast Live. With Edge of Wonder's Ben and Rob live from New York. On behalf of Ben, Rob, and the entire Edge of Wonder staff and crew, this is another Radio Face reminder that we'll see you out on the edge.